الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Ya Allah, have mercy on our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Ya Allah, protect our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Ya Allah, provide for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Ya Allah, those who are killing them, you alone be enough for them. Ya Allah, destin and secure a life of ease, iman and afiyah for them. Ya Allah, wherever the Muslims are oppressed in the far corners of the world, relieve them and provide for them. Ya Allah, whoever is sick amongst us, our family members, our community members, our parents, grant all of them complete shifa. Ya Allah, let us all die in a state of iman. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillah. My respected elders and brothers, yesterday we mentioned the importance of having an Islamic educational system, and I stopped here that the Islamic schools of today are a minute resemblance of what our educational system was in the past. I would just like to add one more thing and then come on this. When we lack the educational systems that have an Islamic environment, then the result we see in our generations. For example, in 2017, the Pew Research Center, that is a well-established, well-respected research tank in the world, it did a research on the Muslims, that kids who are born Muslims or are born or are brought up in Muslim households, family are Muslims, how many of them leave the fold of Islam at a certain point in their life in the US, in the United States. So the result of that survey was 24 out of every 100. 24 out of very 100, meaning 24% of the kids who are brought up as Muslims, at a certain point in their life, they leave the fold of Islam. Another research was done in 2014. This was in 2017, 7 years ago, or 8 years ago. In 2014, that was 10 years ago, that how many of our youngsters or middle-aged people, they favor gay marriage, the consequences of this LGBTQ culture. So I'm not talking about today. I'm not talking about 5 years ago. I'm talking about 10 years ago. They made 4 age groups. I'll just mention 2 here. The age group from 18 to 29 and the second age group from 30 to 49. So from 18 to 29, 49% of the Muslim youngsters favored gay marriage 10 years ago. And the age group of 30 to 49, almost 38% more or less favored gay marriage. Now, what would be the situation today? From where does this mentality come from? When there is a lack of a proper Islamic educational system, when their mindset should be made, we are not able to provide that mindset. So this is the result that comes out. Now, going back to our past rich history, from the end of the 2nd century Hijrah until colonialism came in the Muslim worlds, whether it was the Arab countries or whether it was the subcontinent, we didn't have an education system that we see today. What does it mean? The simple one-sentence answer to this is, our rich history of our Aslaf tells us there was no difference between a madrasa and a school. It might sound awkward. There was no difference between a madrasa and a school. Under the same roof, a person became a cybersecurity specialist also, and under the same roof, a person became an alim or a mufti also. How was it possible? It was the British. I'm just talking about the subcontinent. I don't know the history of the other Arab countries. In the subcontinent, the British broke this system. They disconnected deen with the worldly education. And a prime example of this is the Qarawin University in the city of Fez in Morocco, which is still existent today. Go to UNESCO's website or look into the Guinness World Records. It isn't the first Islamic university. It is the first functional university in the history of the world. Who laid the foundation of it? Fatima al-Fahri rahimahullah ta'ala, a Muslim lady in the 3rd year of Hijrah and in the 9th century. We are passing to the 21st century today. She laid the foundation in the 9th century. Who were the graduates? 3 examples I share with you. Qazi Iyaz rahimahullah, a master of hadith. Ibn Rushd rahimahullah, a philosopher and a Muslim scientist. And Ibn Khaldun rahimahullah, a great historian. So history and science and philosophy is something within the academics, and hadith is something within the deen. But Shaykhul Islam, Mufti Taqi Usmani Hafizahullah, one of the greatest living Muslim scholars of the world, these are his words, I'm narrating it. He says, if Ibn Rushd and Ibn Khaldun and Qazi Iyaz rahimahumullah would stand in one line, you won't know who is the master of hadith, who's the master of philosophy, and who is the master of science. Their attire was the same, their face was the same, their walking was the same, their talking was the same, their culture was the same. Why? Because every Muslim kid that would go in a university would be given basic Islamic knowledge. And after that Islamic knowledge was given, then they would decide, I want to become a scientist, I want to become a muhaddis or a faqih. So a scientist would be able to become an imam in the masjid. He knew this much knowledge. This is our rich Islamic history. So eventually this should be our target. Okay? So how would it start? When at least we lay the foundation. These small Islamic schools, it's not just the Hamza Masjid community that needs an Islamic school. Every Muslim community in the US should have this Islamic school. So when it will start, inshallah, Allah will, if we have the zeal and we do the effort, it's not difficult for Allah. Today we think it's difficult to make an Islamic school, but it's not difficult for Allah to have Muslim universities also in this part of the world. The effort is required from our side, the sacrifice is required from our side, and the dua is required from our side. Everything is easy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the foundation. If we are able to do so, maybe in my and your life, we might not see this, but the next generation, inshallah, will see this. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us and give us the understanding of this effort and allow us to support this effort also. Ameen. Subhanallah wa bihamdih, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.